So were you planning on planting that massive garden this year and just never got around to it? Or maybe you keep reading about people wanting to grow a full year's worth of food in their backyard and you want to know how to do it. Maybe you're just looking to impact your family's diet by growing some food in your backyard. So let's talk about these ideas today. And even though it's June, let's see, today's June 9th. This will be June 11th when the video comes out, okay? So behind the curtain, right? But it's not too late to grow some food that can impact your family's diet. Over most of America, you can grow food up until middle of October or later, depending on if you're really deep south. Obviously, there's some tiers of America that have a shorter growing season, but over most of America, you're gonna be just like we are here in Southwest Ohio. You can grow up to about middle of October, and if you plant the right crops, at that point, you can still have food grown in your backyard up until middle of November or later. This idea has been inspired by my mother, who was texting pictures of some squash that she had bought the plants for, and they'd grown and they're starting to produce, and the squash just were not edible. She was wanting to know what's wrong with them, and I told her, and we kind of figured out what we believe to be the issue. She said, well, I guess we'll have squash in the garden this year. Which to my reply was this, simply that, you know, you can still go buy seeds and replant them. You got plenty of time. And that's just it. You do still have plenty of time to grow several foods that will impact your family's diet and and what they're eating on a daily basis. So let's just say you have 100 days left, okay? Let's say you have 100 days left in your growing season. So what can you legitimately grow plenty of in that 100 days? Easiest thing for me is going to be, say, potatoes, okay? Very simply put, you can still grow plenty of potatoes. The average potato is going to take 90 days, okay? 90 days to germinate or to grow and produce a good harvest. And the good thing about potatoes is if they're taking a little longer, or let's just say you run out of growing season before they're completely done, whatever's in there is still edible. Like, you may have small potatoes in there instead of larger potatoes, but they're still potatoes. They're still edible, right? So you can still eat them. You're not losing your harvest. Not like having green tomatoes and then getting frozen, then you got nothing. But potatoes, even once they get cold, you still have potatoes, whether or not it's the full ones or not. So the easiest one's gonna be potatoes. You can grow plenty of them just like this. In fact, Angela and I are probably gonna use some more grow bags to plant more potatoes here in a little bit, possibly once some of these other stuff gets done, because we have plenty of time. Truly, if you had started tomato plants, you still have time to put tomato plants in the ground and get a good harvest of tomatoes. You're not even close to being out of tomato season, not even remotely close. You can grow tomatoes all the way up till frost, and then so you still have plenty of time to plant tomatoes too. That's just in case you're wondering. But on this idea of growing food in your backyard, or growing as much as you can, or growing a year's worth of food, right? Which, I'll be honest with you, people are kind of sketchy on that. They're misleading, I think, in my opinion. But okay, the approach Angela and I take to growing food in your backyard and impacting your diet is growing side dishes, because we have the average half-acre, backyard, or full lot, and so we only use our backyard. So let's just say we use less than half, okay, to grow our food. We're gonna say we use 1/8 of an acre, honestly, to grow our food on, or less, to be honest with you. And we can grow plenty of food just in this in-ground garden, and then that middle space right there, and then on the other side of the yard we have a little bit too. But the idea here is that we grow side dishes, because we just growing vegetables. We're not growing meat. We have chickens that produce plenty of eggs, so it's kind of more than a side dish. But the idea here is grow side dishes. So plenty of green beans in raised beds, yellow squash, zucchini, more green beans. All things you have plenty of time still to plant and grow a large amount of to impact your family's diet. Bush green beans will take under 70 days or less, okay? Depends on what variety, but 70 days or less. We're gonna say the same for squashes and zucchinis. One of our favorite vegetables to grow that people don't truly grow enough of is carrots. We got these 2 planters full of carrots, right? Carrots are an amazing thing to grow. And truly, you can plant carrots probably twice. You get the right variety. These are New Kuroda, is what they're called, New Kuroda, Kuroda. They can handle the heat well, they grow well, and that's what we're growing here. That way they can handle this. This is gonna get hot right here, and this resin container is gonna make them get even hotter. But they can handle it, we've done it before. And then once they're done, we can do it again because they grow fast enough and they can go into the cold weather. Carrots are something that you can grow into cooler weather. We've harvested carrots, what, middle of November before, to be honest with you. And that's well after your first frost, and especially in a warmer year when it's not terribly cold up to that point, you can really get some good carrots even late in the year. And honestly, they're so good. They're usable for more than you realize. Like Angela Kay's got an amazing maple glazed maple carrot or maple glazed carrot recipe. It's actually a video on her channel too. Check it out. It's so simple, so delicious, and we use homegrown carrots in that, and it's the best. So there's so many ways you can use carrots, and they're super nutritious. It's great for your family. See all these peas in this green stalk here. Green stalk's a great way to do that, to do what you're looking to do and get multiple crops. But peas right here, and when they're done, you can plant green beans in here and get more green beans, so you still have time to do all this stuff too. Peas don't normally like hotter weather, so we'll see how they go here in the next week, but if they fizzle out, we can plant green beans in there, no big deal. Another vegetable that you can grow to make sure that you're putting something out on your plate that you grew, okay, for your family. Something you might not necessarily think about, but for the home cook, it may be the most productive vegetable you can grow. Onions, see, we got some onions growing. They're not ready yet, but you still have plenty of time to grow them. Depends on the variety of onion that you pick, but a lot of them are 90 to 100 days. And they can handle some cooler weather. You can still get some onions growing. And the onions, again, are delicious, homegrown, and they're such a meal builder, like a sauce builder type thing. You dice up an onion, put in a lot of things, right? And so therefore, you can still impact your diet by growing onions yourself rather than depending on the store. And on that note, like think about like if Angela makes or cans sauce, okay? Tomato pasta sauce. When she does that, she uses garlic we grew, tomatoes we grew, onions we grew, peppers we grew. Right, it's just so much there, so all of a sudden all the sauce that she's using, we grew. Sauce is the same way. Onions, garlic, tomatoes, peppers that we grew. It's just such a great way to build things that you're eating, right? You're growing it and you're eating it, and it's so much better. Another thing that you wouldn't think about necessarily is herbs. Herbs are a beautiful thing here, like this is cilantro and parsley. I think it's actually all parsley, and it's basil here. Again, just a little something that you can grow and use while you're cooking that you're not dependent on anybody else for. Here's the way the beans look in the green stalk. They're doing really well. So there you have it. There's so many things that you can still grow right now. Don't give up. You can still plant them right now and get a great harvest to impact your family's diet, okay? So thank you guys so much for watching. Do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.